Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Fatihah.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Shamimi Nisa binti Muhammad Safirul.
We are going to present to you about organization behavior. So my part is the personality. So I'm going to tell you what is personality. Personality is the sum of ways in which an individual react and interact with others. It also a characteristic way of thinking, feeling, and behaving. Personality embraces mood, attitude, and opinion, and is more clearly expressed in interaction with other people. It includes behavior characteristic, both inherent and acquired, that distinguish one person from another, that can be observed in people relation to environment and the social group. So the personality have big 5 model of relation. The first is extraversion. Extraversion is people who are high in extraversion tend to seek out social stimulation and opportunity to engage with others. These individuals are often described as being full of life, energy, and positively. In group situation, extraversion are often likely to talk often and assert themselves. While in extraversion, they are also introvert. Usually, they are low in extraversion. They tend to be quiet, reserved, and less involved in social situations. It is important to note that introversion and shyness are not the same. So I will give you an example situation of extrovert. For example, Sarah always gives opinion in every meeting that make her manager pick her when there is outstanding job. So the effect is extrovert person can increase their job performance, and with their personality, it makes it easy to communicate with others. So for the example scenario of extrovert is, in every meeting with manager, Lisa always just sit quietly and did not give her own opinion. She just agree with others because she afraid that the other will get angry if she give her own opinion. So the effect is, we can see that introvert person is afraid to go outside of their experience. That makes Lisa only live in her own world without learning something new. So this is agreeableness. Agreeableness is a person with a high level of agreement in a personality test that is usually warm, friendly, and active. They generally have optimistic view of human nature and get along well with others. A person who scores low in agreeableness may put their own interests above those of others. They tend to be distant, unfriendly, and uncooperative. The example of scenario is of high agreeableness is Anna is usually heard to other people's problem and give a neutral opinion without blaming others. So the effect she will have excellent social skills and enjoy group interact, show affection easily, and find it easy to collaborate with others. For low agreeableness, the example scenario is in workplace, Mel always just do her own job. She did not join any social group and always eating by herself. She also have a trouble keeping their cool in an gravity situation. So the effect it made her did not have a social skill, and other will think that she just like being friends with others. So next is concertedness. So concertedness is a person who scores high in concertedness, usually have a high level of self-discipline. This individual prefer to follow a plan rather than act spontaneously. Their method, planning, and perseverance usually make them highly successful in their choice application. first scenario for height consciousness is every week. Bella makes a schedule for her job to make sure that she knows what she needs to do in that week. The effect is she can do all her work in well order without any problem because she already planning it beforehand. So, example for low consciousness is Lily does her job when she think that she want to do it. Usually, she does the job last minute. So, the effect is the manager at Lily's job did not believe at her when there are big project that make another feel that Lily is unreliable person.
I will continue with values. Definitions of values is values are defined in organizational behavior as a collective concept of what is considered good, desirable, right or bad, undesirable, and inappropriate in a culture. Zainal Arifin, in his book Organisational Behaviour, defines values as a set of beliefs about particular things that we hold as important to us as individuals. For example, of some common business values are fairness, innovation, and community involvement. We have two types of values, which is terminal value and instrumental value. Terminal values are values that are highly desired by human beings. For examples of terminal values include happiness, self-esteem, recognition, inner harmony, living a prosperous life, and professional excellence. While the definitions of instrumental value is a goal that a person wants to achieve during his or her lifetime. Examples of instrumental values include being honest, sincere, ethical, and ambitious. These values are more focused on the nature and characterization of the personality. The scenario of value is Amin is a person who has an orientation towards strong stimuli. Therefore, he can do extreme sports and choose jobs that involve fast and high risk such as firefighters, police, or emergency medical doctors. The effect toward organizational behavior is this will make it easier for company because it has employees who are efficient and already experienced or able to do activities and jobs that involve hard.
Continue with the positive theory. Positive theory is a framework used to understand the differences in culture across country and to discern the way that the business is done across different culture. The aim of the study was to determine the dimensions in every culture vary. Power distance is the extent to which a society accepts the power in institutions and organizations being distributed unequally. High power distance tend to value things like tradition, which keep society stable and prevent massive change to the power relations. They also tend to be very hierarchical, which means the people are ranked within society by switching roles. Low power distance, members of any society, company, or institutions have more equal power with low power distance. Decision making often requires additional justifications among members. Hierarchy are not formally structured or completely abolished. Example, Asian companies such as those found in Hong Kong and Malaysia are examples of the organizational structures more accepting of substantial power distance characteristic of collective culture. Lines of responsibility are drawn and strictly observed. Employees do not carry themselves as individuals but as group members with specific roles and accepted contributes designed to benefit the collective.
So I will continue the slide, which is its perception. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory intention in order to give meaning to their environment based on Robbins and Judge 2007. Next is error and bias in attributions. Firstly, halo effect. The halo effect is a term used to describe how a manager can be influenced by a single or outstanding employee characteristic clouding his judgment on the employee's other traits. The effect can impair judgment to such as degree that hiring decisions are negatively affected and the company suffers. The scenario is Ali is a manager might think that because Shahid is an avid sportsman like himself, he is automatically a good guy because the boss sees himself as a good guy and projects that trait on to the employee. The effect is this can lead to overly familiar workplace relationship with the manager showing favoritism toward the employee because he sees something of himself in that individual. Secondly is stereotyping. Stereotyping in the workplace is making assumptions about people based on a person's gender or culture and is based on religious or physical attributes. Although some stereotyping may be done innocently or in jest, the risk is hurting people's feelings and creating a work environment in which people feel discriminated against. The scenario is Sarah is a young cute executive assistant who dressed in short skirts, might get compliments and men may even hit on her in the office. They may assume that because she has a bubbly personality that she is not very smart. The effect is the work environment becomes tainted with negative. Someone feeling attacked via the stereotype may feel unsafe or as if they don't belong. This separates team and stalls creative effort. People are more likely to have higher anxiety, get sick more often and not focus on work. This all leads to lower productivity. Lastly, selective perception. The personal filtering of what we see and hear so as to suit our own needs. The scenario is Maya is a supervisor may selective perceive an employee to be loyal while another supervisor who is Atika may selective perceive that same employee to be too conforming and insecure. The effect is this means it is necessary to reduce selective perception as much as possible. Selective perception can be managed through creating a diverse workplace and encourage teamwork. If a company has workforce made up of diverse people, they will also have a workplace with a wide range of beliefs and experience that influence their perception.